Albert Einstein once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important part is to never stop questioning." Learn, live, hope, 3 good words for any cancer patient. I really believe that if someone lives in the fear of cancer and accepts that mindset, then their body will tend to give in earlier than someone that will respect it. I respect it, I accept it. It's a piece of my life, but it doesn't run my life. I run my life, cancer is a part of it, and I will challenge it every way I can to keep the journey going. I always like to try to be active, and as a family, we always enjoyed the outdoors. It could be hiking, biking, kayaking, a lot of things. But now I have to really watch and manage my energy because I just run out of energy over the course of the day. How I began my journey with my blood cancer is I was rather young, 31 years old, had a cold, kind of a common cold. Went to my family doctor, and I went in there to say, hey, I've had this cold for a little while. He listened, and he thought, well, I'll just do a simple blood test on you, see if you have an infection. And he came back in literally 15 minutes and said, did anyone ever tell you you have too many platelets? Like anyone, when you first get the diagnosis, it's a shock. You have no idea, you don't even know what questions to ask because you never heard of this stuff. The cancer I have, being secondary myelofibrosis, is rather rare. When you are unique like that, it's hard to find other people. It is definitely different than the major cancers because no one understands. You're almost like an island.
My name is Cheryl Martz. I direct cancer support groups at a local church. I also have groups for caregivers, family members, and friends. I've been doing this for 23 years. Well, Ron is a member, obviously, of the support group for people on the journey with cancer. Because if anyone exemplifies someone that's been on a journey with cancer for a while, it's Ron.
As far as how I got involved with Cheryl's support group, it just happened to be word of mouth. And I walked in that first day, and there was nothing but women in the room, but they were all very gracious.
He came seeking help for himself and the emotional and psychological things that we deal with as cancer people.
It was different, totally different. It was all emotional based and supportive that way rather than informational.
Something happened to Ron after he came to this group for a while because he started giving and giving and giving and impacting people. When a new person's enter our group, a term I like to use for them is they're raw. It's as if someone has removed the top layer of your skin. Everything that touches you has enormous pain. Ron remembers it. So when a new person enters our group, his sensitivity is hyped. He knows how to reach out, what to say, and he does. A card, a call, an email, a text, but mainly in person.
What's interesting about Cheryl's group, it's not about a common interest, but a common experience. I use the term mosaic to describe this group. We're all individual pieces that normally would not fit together in society, but when we're in there together, we all fit beautifully, and we become a very powerful support group and emotional support to each other, and we recognize it. We are one.
He's had to be his own advocate to an enormous degree. He has sought out every possible avenue for research, for help, for support. He knows the bottom line has his name on it. That's a strength not everyone has.
I find the strength to help myself and other people by connecting with them, by talking with them, sharing experiences with them, because I want to be able to give back from things I've learned over time. And I think in this world, we have all reason to be here, and I think that's one of my callings at this point in time.
My definition of a hero within the context of cancer, for me, I define it as someone that gets up every morning, keeps going, keeps trying to conquer everything within the small purview of his particular cancer, and then make sure he tries to make sure others walk along beside him, or in Ron's case, in front of him.
I might be limited physically, but I'm not limited in my knowledge and my thinking and my emotions. I see the positive things, and if I can bring some other people along my way and see that vision, that they can do this too, it makes all the difference in the world.